The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down. Operating from the gun, James. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, James. Throwing left side, it's complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 23. And he'll drop here to throw. And that's complete. It's the tight end Daniels. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
At the 32-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. The first carry for the shifty Tariq Cohen. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. This one caught by Davis. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
A gain of 21.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Down a run with Cohen. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. Dancing to his left. Now he'll pull it down. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They'll run on second down with Cohen. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Cohen, the ball
Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
Chicago.
Tariq Cohen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Pressure gets to him again. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And that is incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Flushed out right. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. From the shotgun is Trubisky. That's caught by Kelly. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I've got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. And he will find Davis. That's complete. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave me underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They run, Cook, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
James now to throw on 3rd down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
That's pulled in at the 32. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 41, Trubisky. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
3rd down. 3rd and long.
After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now Trubisky to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This
certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. I have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's James looking to throw on 2nd down. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Tackle made at his 48.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the...
Coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked over at the 41. Return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Eluding the pressure right. Uncorks one for Dave. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
Chicago.
A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front. He's got it, and it's 17-0.
Makes the score Bears 17. Vikings nothing. Cairo Santos set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just
called
it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
To throw is James. Throwing on 1st down. Being chased out left. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 18 more yards there and another 1st down.
10 at the 38-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Cedric Thompson on the tackle.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then the
ball down in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And they will score a pick six for the Bears touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Santos with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Fielded in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Now in good for 20 on the catch and run.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
First down, here's the run with Cook. He's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 20 yards on both of those plays back-to-back there. They are moving now. It's another first down.
Vikings, first down. First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Operating from the gun, James. Throwing right, and that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
8 yards on the pickup.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
5-yard line.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now James, back to the air on second down. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Back to the ground, Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And that's a critical touchdown. I don't want to be too hyperbolic or whatever, but they needed some points on the board before halftime.
They certainly did, and, you know, it's not going to erase everything that happened in the first half. Look, they got outplayed. There's no question about that. But now it gives them a chance to regroup, feel a little bit better about themselves. And how many games have we done where we've seen everything flip when another half begins? And by the way, did you say hyperbolic?
I did. Thank you. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Throwing here, Trubisky. Gets this to his running back, Tarik Cohen. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Flush to his right. He'll try and run it. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky. It's caught right side by Daniels. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. On 1st down, Cohen unable to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. Give him 9 yards there on what will be the final play of this 1st half.
Gain of 9 brings up 2nd and a yard at the 13-yard line.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit.
A 30-yard attempt.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will do it for this 1st half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set to resume. Here we go with the 2nd half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now they'll run it with Cohen. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Trubisky. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Trubisky's pass.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now it's Trubisky. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to in my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
Taken in the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
5-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
He's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 38. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Toss play, Cohen, right side. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago.
Chicago.
Tariq Cohen with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And the lead is now an even 30.
makes the score Bears 37, Vikings 7. Cairo Santos set to kickoff.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Fielded in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
James to throw on second down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
On the pickup.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
James now on first down.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
From the gun, James.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Here's James on 1st and 10. This is caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It's a gain of 34. Look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Now that shaves a bit off the lead. It's now a 23-point game.
Makes the score Bears 37, Vikings 14.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Their catch made at the 25-yard line. The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. This is Cohen. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. That kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. Trubisky will throw. And Daniels has it, left side. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
13 yards. And the Bears first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Escaping the pressure right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Gladney. And he will be out of bounds as the third quarter comes to an end with an INT. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw is James. Throwing on first down. That'll be complete to Cook. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Well, he's done his part, Charles, no doubt about that. Maybe he's going to go over to the sideline now and tell this defense, hey, let's go, step up.
And if they do, they've got a chance because right now he's become a force that hasn't been stopped from his side. 3 touchdowns rushing already, eager for more. If they get any type of stops, we've got a heck of a game on our hands.
Now James, from the gun, he'll throw. Going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try to take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
And it's 3rd down.
Again, it's Cohen. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll run on first down. It's Cohen, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 38-yard line.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. James Lynch, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
3rd and 14.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Here's Trubisky to throw. Rolling to his right. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's Ty Long now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's taken to the 26. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
A give to Cook out of the gun. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
James looking to throw on 2nd down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath him.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Herb Smith Jr., his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And 10 at the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of
of the gun. Trubisky. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. He'll drop to throw. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
James now on 1st down to Jefferson on the slant. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. He's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. And we got a little bit up front. I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
That's the reason we ball for. Circle round twice for the encore. If you know, you know.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Back to throw. James. Wide open receiver complete. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on 1st down.
20-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Khalil Mack in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to get it back to a 1-score game. And this one is right down the middle. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit and forced the field goal.
And this is going to be taken in by the Bears, and it appears they're going to win this game. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big fourth-quarter comeback. Able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? In the fourth quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the